The following is a presentation of The Day.
Thank you so much for joining us on Live Lunch Break. My name is Rick Coster. I am from The Day. We're streaming from theday.com. And of course, as always, we are in the pleasant confines of the Telegraph record store. Today we have a very special guest from Westerly via Queens, New York. This is Flav Martin, the guitarist. And what we've sort of been doing lately, no real plan to it, is we had the guitarist Glenn Roth in here. We've had the stick virtuoso Greg Howard. We had the New West Guitar Trio, and then Manali Jamal. So we've had a lot of you virtuoso acoustic dudes in here lately, and it's been a lot of fun. So maybe that's all we're going to end up doing from now on. It's just all virtuoso acoustic musicians. And if that was the case, we could do no better than to have Flav Martin.
Grazie tante. I come to this country. My real name is Flavio Martinelli, and it got shortened by an agent several years ago. So I'm gonna probably do an Italian song. But how you guys doing out there? You're probably night owls, and you're just getting up like right now. So I'm gonna do something to inspire a little bit of caffeine waking. It's a song called Drinking You, and it has a little bit of a instrumental intro. And it's on the new CD that's coming out, which is at this point untitled. But it's part of a series called Stages. And here it goes. Dancing with Ginger tonight, watching Fred Astaire, seeing if I'm leading right. Still I know where I'd rather be, 'cause you are my wine. I'm drinking you 'cause I'll be drinking you tonight. I'll be drinking you tonight. I could be erasing Andretti today, chasing the man around until I pass in the espresso lane. Still I know where I'd rather be, 'cause you are my wine. I'm drinking you tonight, 'cause I'll be drinking you tonight. Tonight. Where did all the time go? You say I've got it in my pocket. Rainy day. Where did all the time go? You say, smile gone away. No, they're hiding in the corner. Just waiting to come out and play. Dancing with Ginger tonight. Been dancing with Ginger tonight. Still I know where I'd rather be, 'cause you are my wine. I'm drinking you tonight. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now I gotta detune some strings here. The funniest thing about this song is it's kind of like old, but it's coming out now for the first time. It happened to be recorded over at Cox Communications about 10 years ago, and I've got like a whole bunch of gigs and a lot of good reaction from this song. So this is actually going to be one of the singles off the song, which I'm recording with Jerry Murata at Dreamland in Woodstock. It's about procrastination. I never got to finish it, so I'm going to play another song now. Oh, okay. It's early morning now, but there's pretzels in my hair. The refrigerator's open, but I'm looking pretty bare. Begging for the milk, you should know I'm taking chances. Through those dairy guys, my belly dirt's rancid. What's the truth, my baby? Maybe we can seek it out. As for now, my lady, I got a plan no one can doubt. How about we go dancing? How about we fly right out of here? How about we just go smashing? Smash reality in the mouth, down for the count. Chat about it in a restaurant. That is the time. We'll align. But what the heck is a boy supposed to do? What's a boy supposed to do? What's a boy supposed to do when thinking about tomorrow? Listen out. We can go out. Seeking soul redemption. Well, I'm gonna have a seat and some coffee if I'm able. But a stupid stack of bills is spread out on the table. So I filed alphabetically, neatly in the pile. You never know when you need killing for a fire. What's the truth, my baby? Maybe we can seek it out. But now, my lady, we're gonna have a plan we just can't doubt. How about we go dancing? How about we fly right out of here? How about we just go smash it? Smash reality in the mouth, down for the count. Chat about it in a restaurant. That is the time. We'll align. Well, what the heck is a boy supposed to do? What's a boy supposed to do? What's a boy supposed to do? Thinking about tomorrow. Listen out today. Maybe we can go out. We can go out. Seeking soul redemption. All right, I'm going to just take a short break, and I'm going to be back, change a little tunings, and play for you guys, and maybe talk about stuff, and that's cool. I'm glad you guys are awake, and I'll be right back.
It's on live lunch break on yet another rainy day. I'm Rick Coster from The Day, and we're streaming from theday.com inside Rich and Daphne's Telegraph record store. Our guest today is the inimitable acoustic guitarist, Flav Martin. He's changing tunes because he just doesn't do the EADBG thing like a lot of us do. So when he's ready, we will. But I want to say, first of all, that Flav has performed with all sorts of artists, Tommy Emmanuel, Steve Morse, Al Stewart. What do you think about Al Stewart? Just kidding. Al Stewart, I mean, really.
I love all of them.
I love all of them. He needs the work. Okay, so, and what I want to ask him when he gets ready here, Flav, is that you've had that much exposure to all sorts of phenomenal virtuosos, and I want to know how, when you get started, how one evolves their own style. And you know, you've got a lot of the percussion stuff going on, a lot of harmonic stuff going on, and you got to learn to play the rudiments anyway. So how does this all work out?
Well, a lot of people ask that question actually, and the involvement of that is actually the independability of the drummers that I had growing up in New York. And I had to sort of create my own beat because they always would not either show up or find some girl and, you know, or go for a wedding gig that got paid more. And so I found myself like banging the drum, and I was big into Richie Havens and things like that. And I was a tapper really early on, but then when Michael Hedges came out, I said, well, you know, he kind of brought it out to the forefront, and I wasn't, you know, I said, it's cool, so it's cool to do.
Were you playing electric at that time?
I almost never played electric. I play electric when I produce people.
Right.
I can play electric, but I feel much more comfortable.
All right.
It's a foreign instrument to me, actually, because
I think
I play it like percussion, so it's not.
I was talking to that, but
I'm sorry.
not at all.
Back in the way.
I believe you've actually written a song about the late Michael Hedges. So was he indeed a huge influence?
Absolutely, absolutely. I was at a point in my life where I wanted to, you know, come out and sort of do a blend, because I'm really from a singer-songwriter school, and sort of blend a more intricate thing. And he kind of like brought it out to the forefront and gave us an okay to kind of do that. And then left a bunch of us kind of. I'm not the only tapper, but I was kind of like there in the beginning, I think. But there's so many great guys out there now. They're
really
just
are.
fantastic.
But I think what you just alluded to, the fact that you sort of infuse an almost pop song singer-songwriter, or we mentioned Al Stewart. You also sort of remind me of a guy from my generation named Jimmy Spheris. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but tremendous songwriter, very soulful. And when you throw in this virtuoso stuff, it's pretty unique what you're doing.
Thank you.
So tell me about the recording, because you got one album out, and then you had what you call the 30-year overnight success project to fund a new recording. How's that going? What's the progress?
It was actually quite a roller coaster ride, because, you know, like all of us musicians, we make the money and then we just spend all of it. And, you know, that's how it was. And so basically I needed the help at that point. And the Kickstarter came through, and a few other things came through, and managed to get the first of the 3 CDs out, which is like a culmination of like 3 or 4 different bands and about 30 years of tunes. This is on Not What It Seems.
Yep.
That just came out recently. And the one that I'm working on now is more of a percussive stuff, like that you normally see me play. There are a couple of hints of that in there. And it's leading into this thing that I'm doing with Jerry Marotta. We decided to just do me and him, like a duo, and capture us live. And he's going to play percussion.
Let me interrupt you, Flav. For folks who don't know, Jerry Marotta is one of the greatest session drummers in the world. He's, of course, worked live with Peter Gabriel and Tony Levin and Hall & Oates. And that. So how did that come about? You don't just call Jerry Marotta and say, hey, let's do something.
Well, the drummer that I have on this record, a lot of the drums, is the current drummer for Hall & Oates.
Okay.
His name is John Michel.
There's the connection. Right.
And a lot of my friends, especially Dan Casio from the Bitter End, when I used to go there, he'd always would want to connect me with people.
Right.
So he started coming up to play, and we became friends. And 3-4 different people sort of suggested that I go with Jerry Marotta, and they suggested to Jerry Marotta that we should get together, and it just happened, you know.
That's fantastic. I think it's interesting also that there's a lot of luck in the music business, and we all know that. And so on one hand,
I'm not part of that.
The only luck I ever had was bad, and that sounds like a blues song. But you can have all sorts of talent and skill, and obviously you do. And you should be accepted as a colleague and a peer of these top-line players. But from your perspective, when you get in a room with someone that did, like Jerry Marotta or Tommy Emmanuel, do you still have that little kid sort of like apprehension, like, wow, I can't believe I'm with these guys?
Absolutely, but you know, I have to sort of zone myself out,
Right?
Because I'm, you know, we musicians, you know, don't grow up anyway.
Right.
So you know, I have to sort of like bring it down. I grew up in New York, and my
So you
mom,
got that attitude.
My mom didn't drive, and she worked at the Plaza Hotel for 25 years. So I met just about everyone at some point.
Right.
And then I was asking for autographs, and so I got that out of my system. So now it's,
That's,
you know,
right.
John Lennon was the first one when I tried to pitch my songs to him.
How did that work out for you?
That didn't work out too good. The last sentence he said to me, he goes, I've signed 73,000 autographs in my life, and I'm not signing one more. So I wrote a song called 73,001. And I was 18 years old, and you know, I don't want to judge. I don't want to kill everyone's view. It was a bad day for. Obviously, he was
Right.
not in a good mood,
Right.
and he probably didn't want to be bothered by an
Sure.
18-year-old guy trying to eating in the same restaurant. But you know, that was the scariest moment at that point. So from that point on, after John Lennon, I said I could deal with anything.
And I should point out that I think you would have been crazy not to do it. You know, whatever happened, you have to go for it.
Yes, well, my girlfriend at the time's family owned the restaurant where they used to dine all the time, and they grabbed me from downstairs when I was cleaning shrimp. He goes, put the shirt on, go down, sit down, because they're sitting there. So I sat right down next to them, and it became this push, like, you know, you have to do this, you have to take it.
Right.
I was scared of the wits out of me, you know.
That's a good story. Well, rest in peace, John. But you missed your opportunity, pal.
Yes.
That's what I say. So, you're working on these CDs, this triumvirate. You're going to be recording with Jerry Marotta. When do we expect to see them?
I'm also actually want to give a lot of credit to John Baldick, who teaches audio engineering at the Hartford Conservatory. He's been handling everything up to this point. He's just a genius of audio. I put the stuff in me, you know, the car test.
Right.
And come home, and I'm like, wow, this is like
Tremendous.
awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and so a lot of it's being done with him, and the ending is being done with Jerry, and which is going to be CD number 2, which
Okay.
we haven't come up with the title for yet, and that's going to be coming out in the first week of June.
Congratulations.
We're very close to,
All right.
To the end of that, yeah.
All right. And then, so folks out there, again, this is Flav Martin from Westerly, originally from Queens, New York City, here on Live Lunch Break. Where can folks who are interested find out more about you or see you play again?
Like Google kind of thing, you know,
Just
Google
Google.
or FlavMartin.com.
There you go.
You know,
FlavMartin.com.
you'll sift through a lot of the Flavor Flavs, but I come up when you say Flav Martin, I come up first. I now have beaten.
You've beaten Flavor Flav.
I almost want to have I want to ask Nancy, my publicist,
Yeah.
to when I'm done, I want to do a funny thing where I want to do like a song off with
With
Flav
Flav.
and Flav. 'Cause
Flav and Flav.
I can kind of do my folk rap.
you do
know?
that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it now, but I
That-
haven't had enough tequila, but I can do it.
There are many interesting collaborations that have happened in the world of music, and I'm afraid that would be right at the top of the list.
Yes.
So,
Can't you see me and Flavor Flav in the same spot? We're both Pisces. It'll just
okay,
work.
then it works automatically. And you have to wear a witch hat and put the clock around your neck and all that stuff. All right, this is Flav Martin here on Live Lunch Break, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you. There's a song called Tiny Movements. this is an interesting little project that I had. This is actually originally a ukulele, which I had strung as a classical and tuned as a quattro, which is sort of like a South American multiple tuning thing. You can change tunings and fifths. I created my own tuning with it, so it kind of sounds more like a tenor classical than it does a ukulele. And this is a song that's going to be on the next CD. It's called Tiny Movements. Part of it was also called Laura's Theme, which is my daughter. Incredible filmmaker, Laura Martin. I'm going to switch off to this little guy over here. I know you guys just woke up out there in internet land. There's a story to everything. This is a funny little story. I'm gonna make it quick. But we had a Martin, a really early Martin, that my brother owned, and which I bought off of him when he was going through hard times, and then that was always our cash cow. And then I ended up pawning it, and I lost track of the payments, and it went away. 1970, 69, 70 Martin. So anyway, I went there and I was all really sad. And on the way out, there's this little thing sitting on the thing, and the guy, I go, "How much you want for that?" And he was like, 20, 25 bucks. So I bought it, and it stuck around with me for like 5 years. I just loved the way it sounded. I had a pickup put into it. Later on, I found out that it was like the Stradivarius of the Quattro that lived in Puerto Rico. It's worth more than the Martin. And it's much more than the Martin. It's made out of like wood from the rainforest, and this guy named Eugenio Mendez. Then I told that story to my drummer, Mel Corsino. He goes, "That's my wife's grandfather." I said, this is very, very strange. So it's like the red violin. It's like, this is my Martin right now. All I got to tell you is that I love this thing. And there's a song that's going to be on the CD that's, you're not going to really get the full gist of it, but it's kind of like Cashmere. It almost has like a Beatles meets Zeppelin with this little guy starting it. It's just one of my favorite songs on the CD. It's called This Is What We Do Here. Hey lady, what's going on? I'm thinking about this song with you. Let's just go on out of here, 'cause this is what we do here. This is what we do, letting time pass us by. Let's just get out of here. Cause this is what we do here. It's just as sad as the time passes by. Why don't we just get out of here? World's invisible guitar. Where is it? This one's here. This is the kind of stuff they bring on flights. People, I actually, you know, it's funny because I'll be in a taxi cab with this thing and I didn't even know I walked in with a guitar. Like, where did that come from? Let's switch over. I'll be right back. I would like to thank very much the Telegraph and the Day for having me, because this is a great thing, you know, to find places that sort of nurture songwriters, because it's when you get out of the city, sometimes it's very difficult to find venues, you know, and so, you know, when I was invited, I just jumped on it. It was great. I love doing it. So you guys out there, you should submit, because it's a lot of fun, and it reminds me of like High Fidelity. I'm seeing all of my favorite albums like Asia right there, Los Lobos. All we need is like a little Jackson Browne from Joni Mitchell, and I'm like, you know, ready to have sex on here. I'm sorry, am I allowed to say that? Oh, this is internet, yeah. Not that sex is a bad thing. Right? For you it is, Laura, because you just turned. You should wait. It just distorts the mind. You ever see that Seinfeld episode with George when he stops having sex? He becomes a genius. Chinese song tuning, as explained by my hero Tommy Emmanuel. Tuning. I'm gonna do one more song for you. Sort of a combination. It's gonna start out as an instrumental song called Tapping Into Heaven, which leads into a song called Three Wishes, which might very well be the title of the CD. Three Wishes. Who I wrote for a special someone. Almost. While the hills are bathed in southern shouts of moonlight, the sound and smells of childhood appear. While I lay down on this lawn, right, I gather all my choicest fears and wisdom I forgot to hear. Grant me my 3 wishes. Bouncing off the walls while testing off my courage. You might say I learned it at both ends. Now I'm fathers call the things I once held truest and move themselves to life backseat. Suddenly it's clear to me. Always my 3 wishes. She was always my 3 wishes. Oh, thank you, God, for granting my 3 wishes. Lovely green-eyed angel. She was always my 3 wishes. Thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out in the internet land.
The astonishing Flav Martin, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. I'm Rick Coster for Live Lunch Break here in the Telegraph. Next week we have a bluegrass roots outfit called The Seat of Our Pants. See you next time.